Welcome to the Hooked on Fishing Spring Special, where we're going to have some surprises and tricks and tips for fishing out in Minnesota. So stay tuned, and we're going to show you some super duper, I'm not going to tell you yet, but pretty soon we're going to show you what we're talking about, because we ain't quite sure. The Frozen Stuff Food Corporation is a registered trademark and the sponsors of Hooked on Fishing. This does not necessarily mean that we think they're funny.
Here we are in the Dumbasses' house. The bathroom. Here's another room. Here's the foyer. Here's the living room. Here's my dad. He's sleeping peacefully. And here is the kitchen. Now, we need to wake my dad up so that we can go fishing. And remember, he's very peaceful. Very peaceful. So if I wake him up too quickly, he could start a war. So, let's go. Let's go. Wake him up. Now, you must do this very delicately, or else he will kill me. Literally.
Excuse me one second. Here we go. Better. Well, hey, welcome back to Hooked on Fishing. Stand by for a few tips and tricks. Anyway, we'll be right back after this short commercial message. Frozen Stuff is a registered trademark and is in no way affiliated with Hooked on Fishing.
Go.
Hey, good morning. I just waking up here in the Dumas residence, and anywho, wanted to show you a little bit about a good breakfast. You know, a good breakfast has eggs, and it has butter, and it has bread, and that's a good healthy breakfast. And you gotta have one of them to start your day, or you're not gonna catch any fish. So anywho, come on over here, and I'll show you a good breakfast. You get yourself a plate. And I fix this for Poop every morning. I get him a plate, and then we got eggs and butter and bread right here, and a cookie. That's your breakfast, kid. Eat up. Be sure and come back and stay tuned to Hooked on Fishing and Poop. What are you showing, a picture of my legs or what? Learn how to run the camera. Be right back after these commercial messages. The Frozen Stuff Corporation is a registered trademark and is not necessarily in agreement with anything Toad and Poop Dumas have to say.
Go.
Oh, hey, hi! Good to see you again. Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing, Grillin, and Thrillin'. We'll be right back after this commercial message. Hooked on Fishing, brought to you by Frozen Stuff. Show them some of the frozen stuff they got there, Poop. There you go. You got all kinds of good frozen stuff. And remember, if it ain't frozen, it ain't from Minnesota. Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing. I'm your host, Toad Dumas. And out here we're gonna be doing some dock fishing today. And this here is Poop. He's my son, Poop, and he's out fishing around, throwing them in, reeling them back. And we plan on catching tons of fish. We got a minnow bucket, got our poles, and we're all set to go Hooked on Fishing. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these short commercial messages.
Hooked on Fishing, brought to you by Frozen Stuff. They make all kinds of crappy things. Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing. Now here's a little neat tip and trick and dip. for you fishermen out there. One, don't get run over with that boat. Oh, ooh, ow, ow. And don't go barefoot when you're going on rocks. But the main thing I wanted to show you was, well, if you look at Toad, you see? Let's go in a little closer. See Toad? He's in the water. Yeah, he's in the water. And he's casting his pole. Now, it doesn't really make a difference, but you can cast either way. You can cast in the water, you can cast out the water, you can cast in the water, you can cast out the water. You can do anything with water. Anyway.
You can drink it.
Yeah, you can even drink it. Especially if it's salt water. So, anywho. See, look. Let's go a little closer here. Not that close. My pants are getting soaked.
Hooked on Fishing. Brought to you by Frozen Stuff.
They have. Go.
Oh, hey, hi! Good to see you again. Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing, Grillin, and Thrillin'. We'll be right back after this commercial message.
Frozen Stuff is a registered trademark and the sponsor of Hooked on Fishing, but is not affiliated or does not necessarily agree with anything Toad or Poop Dumas have to say. Thank you for watching, and bye, Frozen Stuff.
Hey, welcome back to Hooked on Fishing with Toad and Poop. Now, Poop here, he just threw his line in here. He's trying to catch himself a... Whoa, you got one there, Poop? You got one?
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
It's a huge one there. Yeah, it's good. Let's see if we can get the...
Oh, yeah.
See if we can show this fish here. Oh, now here, Poop, he's got himself a largemouth bass. We're going to have to get back where we can see it because this camera's like zoomed way in. Anywho, and there you go. There's Poop right there. And there is his largemouth bass. It's not a bad one, but he's just a little bit too small for us to keep. So now, you all make sure you stick around here because we're going to try and fix our accent. And Poop now, he's going to try to take that hook out, which he really isn't too good at, but that's okay. He's going to go ahead and give her a shot. I'll give you a close-up of what he's doing here. Here's how you take a hook out. You're just going to grab it and you just tear the hell out of the fish's mouth. Hooked on Fishing, brought to you by Frozen Stuff. We got all kinds of frozen stuff there. Poop, show them some of the frozen stuff.
Cigarettes, butts, dead things.
Oh, hey, hi, welcome back to the road trip part of Hooked on Fishing 2 Grillin' and Thrillin' Special. We're still thinking of this. Shut up, Poop, quit giggling. We're still thinking of good ways to pass the time on a 10-hour road trip, and so, what is my zipper? Oh, hey, welcome back to Hooked on Fishing Part 2, Grillin' is Thrillin'. And on these long road trips, a lot of the time you got to take a long road trip. On these long trips, it's a good idea to have some games to play and some things to do. And so what we're doing here today is we're thinking of some good songs that we could use in our Hooked on Fishing special. And one of the songs that Poop and I came up with was a song called Bad Worm. And it goes like this. Bad worm, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when a hook's in you? Bad worm, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when a hook's in you?
You ain't gonna wiggle by the sunny. You ain't gonna wiggle by the bass.
Thanks for adding that there, Poop, but it goes, we're gonna make you wiggle by the sunny, and we're gonna make you wiggle by the bass, and you ain't gonna think it's very funny when you come a-squirting out their ass. Bad worm, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when a hook's in you?
The Frozen Stuff Food Corporation is a registered trademark and the sponsors of Hooked on Fishing. This does not necessarily mean that we think they're funny.
It's the eye of the fishy, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of the hook. And he's going to get away, hopefully. Your turn, Toad.
I'm playing no stupid song.
Go.
Oh, hey, hi! Good to see you again. Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing, Grillin' and Thrillin'. We'll be right back after this commercial message.
Hooked on Fishing, brought to you by Frozen Stuff. They make all kinds of crappy things.
Hey, welcome back. It's good to see you again here on road trip part of Hooked on Fishing, part 2. Grillin' is Thrillin' here in wonderful frozen Minnesota. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but we've got a new sponsor, and it's the Frozen Corporation. And our motto is, if it ain't frozen, it ain't from Minnesota. So, anywho, we were thinking about telling you about some of the ways to speak Minnesotan, don't you know? You betcha. So, don't you know is one of the most commonly used terms in Minnesota, aside from, geez, it's cold. And, don't you know is used in a variety of different ways, don't you know? And, oh yeah, I was driving down the road, don't you know, and the guy in front of me was going so slow, don't you know, that, the other one that's commonly used is you betcha. So, and you can use them together, like, don't you know, you betcha. Like, I was driving down the road, don't you know, you betcha. And, this guy was driving so slow in front of me, don't you know, that I had to go around him, you betcha. And so these are the way that you use these terms in Minnesota so that you don't get, shot with a shotgun. Hooked on Fishing, brought to you by Frozen Stuff.
They have... Go.
Hey, hi, good to see you again. Welcome back to the Hooked on Fishing Special Part 2. Grillin' is Thrillin'. We just got back, and we are going to clean up our fish. And so I'm going to show you the different steps in cleaning fish, and we're going to get some nice fillets out of these babies that we caught here today. So, well, come on inside, and let me go ahead and show you how this is done. Okay? Here we go. Yeah, alright. Now the first thing you want to do is take a big bowl, show them the bowl poop. There you go. Big bowl, and you put water in it. There you go, some water in the bowl. And then you take salt, iodized salt, and you put the salt in the water. Okay. Cut.
The Frozen Stuff Corporation is a registered trademark and is not necessarily in agreement with anything Toad and Poop Damas have to say.
Okay, now we got our fish here. These are the fish we're going to clean up. And we're going to put some newspaper down here in the ground. Here we're going to take our first fish off the stringer. Somebody shoved a minnow in its mouth. Anywho, I'm going to take that fish off the stringer. Keep the rest of them in here. It's alright, you don't need to get up the fish's butt there, Poop. And then we take that fish like this. Take a nice sharp fillet knife. And then we just run it here around the gill like that. Then we take and we run it up the spine like so. There we go, keeping it close to the bone. And then we run it all the way across the back like this. And we take and we slice across the rib cage this way here. And like that, keep as much of the meat on the fish as possible. And this is what our fillet is going to be from. Take and flip the fish over and run the knife around this way like so. And then once again, we just run down the rib cage like this here with the knife, just touching the bony structure. and then across the bottom, and leaving the bones and taking just the meat. And then we give it the old slicer-rooney on the inside like this here. There we go. And our fillet is going to come off of this piece. Rest of the fish goes on some newspaper down here. And now, the part that we are going to eat, we go ahead and just slice the meat off real carefully here like this and put that in our salt water. And that's very important. See, here's the part that we're going to throw away. And here's the part we're going to eat in the salt. Very important to have salt water to disinfect the fish and get off all the goo and the crud. There's 2 fillets done just like that. Now we're going to do the rest of the fish up. So stay tuned for more Hooked on Fishing.
Frozen Stuff is a registered trademark and is in no way affiliated with Hooked on Fishing.
Okay, now that we got that done, we're going to just come on over here and take a look. We got our fish in our salt water. And we rinse that off. You might want to back up so that people can see what I'm doing. And put some more water in there. And then we put a little more salt in there like this here. There we go. And we mix it up once again, nice and easy. And then we dump it out again. And this way we disinfect the meat of the fish so that there's no parasites or nothing nasty in there. And we keep it nice and salted in the water. Now we're going to cook it up here in just a minute. Stay tuned for Hooked on Fishing, Grilling, and Thrillin'.
Go.
Okay, now the next thing you want to do here is follow me over this way and grab some of these bad boys right here, eggs. And we're going to take a couple eggs and we're going to toss them in a bowl. There we go. Take a couple eggs. And 1. You don't need to show the garbage, Poop. And 2. There you go. You want to show the garbage again? Make sure that the egg's in there or what? Now we take and whip it up. Now when you whip up your eggs, it's probably going to help you to season it a little bit. So you grab a little bit of the seasoning and you put her in there just like that. And then also you might want to just put a tad pepper. There you go. And then you whip it all up like this. Okay, Poop, they can get the idea. Alright. Yeah, now here's the secret ingredient. You take some crackers. And grab your crackers and you crunch them up. Put them in the filter, just like that. There you go. And then you grab some of these crackers. And you crunch them up. You do the exact same thing. Okay. Cut.
Go.
Okay, now we got the crackers, and we took our crackers and we ground them up. Ground them into a fine powder, just like this here. See it? Fine powder. And we take our fish, and we drain the water off the fish like this. There you go. Now they're drained. And remember, we whipped up some egg yolks. So those are right over here, all whipped up nice and happy. Happy little egg yolks. There we go. Now, we take the fish and we drop them in our happy egg yolks like that. There we go. And then, you don't need to get in that close. Then we go ahead and turn on the stove. Get it on a medium heat. And put some butter in the pan. Like this. There we go. Alright. We're going to let that melt. And then we go ahead and we mix our fish up in the eggs like this. Just like that. And then we take our happy little fish. Well, they're not so happy anymore. And we throw them in here. Go ahead, whip that around a little bit like this here. And we end up with a breaded fish. Just like that. Alright. Now, once this melts, we're going to take our breaded fish and we're going to put that right in there. Got to let it bubble away a little bit. I'm going to turn the light on for you so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. And then we just put them in there like that. Take each one. Run up our happy little fish like that. There we go. And we toss them right in there like that. There we go. Just like that. Making a little factory line. Just like at the frozen food company. They make these fish too. And, well, here, I got a box of the frozen fish food company right here in the freezer. There you go. And that's what they make. They make fish sticks from the frozen food company. So we're making our own here for Hooked on Fishing, Grillin' and Thrillin' special. Now, as you can see, fish are cooking away in there. Real nice fish. There we go. Yeah. They're cooking. We're just breading some more, popping them in there, and frying them up, just like that. So, that's how you do it. Well, come on back and we'll show you some more tips and tricks on Hooked on Fishing too, Grillin' and Thrillin'.
Frozen Stuff is a registered trademark and is in no way affiliated with Hooked on Fishing.
Go.
Now when you're done cooking, it's always important that you clean everything up before you start eating all your food. You don't have to mop and wax the floor or anything, but just kind of wipe things down, put things ready to get into the dishwasher, and wipe off the stove. And here's the fish that we cooked up. Now that was just what we showed you, fried up in butter. And fried until it's golden brown. And so now we're going to go ahead and eat this, and stay tuned to Hooked on Fishing, Grillin' and Thrillin'.
Welcome back to Hooked on Fishing with Boop and Toad. Well, Toad's just sitting on the computer looking up some fishing things like fishing supplies, and he's also looking at the Frozen Corporation. See what they have new. Frozen rugs, frozen washers, frozen ice. Anywho, me and Toad have already ate all of our fish fillets. Come over here, take a look. Ooh, yeah, it was yummy. And you might want to consider having some, maybe mac and cheese or potato chips. Yeah. Some people say it makes you fat. Nonsense. It only has saturated fat of 100. Come on. Good thing it's better than 200. Back to a commercial. Thanks. Bye.
Frozen Stuff is a registered trademark and the sponsor of Hooked on Fishing, but is not affiliated or does not necessarily agree with anything Toad or Poop Dumas have to say. Thank you for watching, and bye, Frozen Stuff.
Well, it looks like the day is through on Hooked on Fishing number 2, Grillin' and Thrillin'. Hope you folks have a nice time, and remember, over the spring, summer, winter, and fall, go fishing, or else you're gonna get a ticket. Anyway, well, let's see what Toad has to say.
Well, Poop's right. We got a new thing coming up here. It's called the Fishing Police, and if you're caught without a fishing pole in your car, show them the back of the car there, Poopsie. Show them you gotta have fishing rods in your car, or you're gonna get a ticket. And we're real happy to have a new sponsor, the Frozen Corporation. You remember, if it ain't frozen, it ain't from Minnesota. And we're real happy to have them and all their nice products, the frozen bait, frozen worms, frozen orange juice, frozen steak, frozen, pretty much anything you can freeze. Because all they do is just put it outside here in Minnesota and it freezes. But I don't care if it's July. And so we're going to wind her down, and we really appreciate you coming out and watching Grillin' is Thrillin' on Hooked on Fishing 2 with Toad and Poop.
And so, hope you folks have a nice day, evening, afternoon, midnight.
Why don't you just beat them with a stick?
Alrighty then. Alright. Now I'm going to drink my milkshake if you don't mind.